But we're connected. We're connected by what we share. And what we share is our Lord, Jesus Christ. And so the idea here, really quickly, I'll try to say this quickly, is Lord is the master. Okay, great. Who's the master? And if you look at this in the Greek, literally it's written out like this: Lord, our Jesus Christ. And you might be like, what's the big deal with that? Well, think about it this way. Master, the question comes up. Who's the Lord? Who's the master? Who's Kurios? Who is this? And then he says, our Jesus. What does that say? Remember what I've taught you about Jesus? I think I've taught you this. I've taught a lot, but if I haven't, you're going to learn. When you hear the word Jesus, it should remind you of the historical person, Jesus. Why is he ours? When he was in heaven, in full glory, was he ours? What makes him ours? God incarnate makes him ours. Let me show you. Look, just go to the book of John. You've read this before. I know you have. Listen to this. In the beginning was the Word. Right? The Word. That's out there. And the Word was with God. Now, the Word here is talking about Christ, okay? In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God. The Logos was with God. And the Word was God. Okay. So we're all like, okay, he's up there, right? He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being through him, and apart from him, nothing came into being that has come into being. Wow. Creative force. That's God. He is God then, right? In him was life. The very life that we know was in him. And the life was the light of men. But that's all it was, right? It was the light of men. That's not no small thing. But read reading. Look at verse 5. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. If you remember Romans 1, what do? We suppress the truth of God. We exchange the truth of God for a lie. And then what happens? All those ills of society happen. Okay? And then what we see in verse 14. So all this is happening. This is like all glorious, heavenly, pointed right in that direction. Chapter 1 of John, verse 14. And the Word, that thing that we just described, became flesh and dwelt among us. And we saw his glory, glory as of the only begotten from the Father, full of grace and truth. And now Paul in chapter 15 says, our Lord. He says, our Jesus. What we share with Christ is the humanity. He lived in this world through the pains that you did. And too many times we forget that. Too many times we forget the importance of our Jesus.